Hey homies, welcome to another tier list video. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be ranking all the starters and their evolutions from all the Pokemon games. Without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to go in basically the order of the Pokemon based on when they were released. So we start out with the Bulbasaur evolution. It's Bulbasaur. Obviously I have a lot of nostalgia for it because the first games I played were Pokemon Blue and Red. So taking that into account, probably my first gen will be a little bit higher than maybe some other people's, but I love the grass poison typing. Obviously some of the moves it gets, it's really fun. And then if you're actually just playing the game itself, the first two gyms are a breeze with Bulbasaur, but it kind of falls off a little bit. So I'm going to put the Bulbasaur line as great Pokemon. So yeah, so for Venusaur, for the Bulbasaur line, we're going to say they're a great Pokemon. They're ones that you can use across a lot of different playthroughs, and it's a lot of fun, in my opinion. Next up, we have, obviously, what most people's favorite is the Charmander to Charizard. I mean, Charmander, super cute. Charmeleon is meh. Charizard, pretty cool, but he's like a dragon, but he's not a dragon. I don't love that they like made him slightly stronger than the other ones, so I'm a little bit biased to him. So I'm going to say he's fun to try. Not my favorite. I know he's a lot of people's would be put him in the all day. Obviously, I'm not just doing like the competitive side of Pokemon, but just the actual like how fun it is to play in a playthrough. So I'm gonna say it's fun to try because he's really strong. He's good. He's Charizard. He's like one of the icons of the game. So I'm gonna put him there. So next up is the Squirtle, Turtle, Blastoise line. This one is again huge nostalgia hit. So this one is just an easy all day. I mean, look at this guy. He's a freaking turtle with cannons coming out of his shell. Like, if that's not all day every day, I'm not sure what is. Plus Squirtle, super cute, little turtle man. Turtle actually is probably one of my least favorite middle evolutions of all the Pokemon, but Squirtle and Blastoise just too good, so I'm gonna put them in the all day. Next up is Johto. So this is gonna be Gen 2, the worst starters in all the games, or at least it's up there in my opinion. So we have Chikorita, pure grass type. Okay, so obviously we have Chikorita here. Then we have the Bayleaf. Where's Bayleaf at? This guy. Then we have Meganium. I mean, guys, it's bad. It's so bad. Just grass, which has like, what, 5 or 6 weaknesses. Only super effective against 2 things. Like, at least with a lot of some of the other grass types, they have some sort of dual typing, so it makes it more fun. But man, I gotta say, this is one of the worst ones, the Meganium. It's kind of cool to kind of like the dinosaur-esque look to it, but nope, I'm going to give it an unusable. Then we have Typhlosion. So the Cyndaquil line, Cyndaquil, Quilava, and Typhlosion. Cyndaquil I think is super cute. I used to love playing him, but then I feel like it kind of gets worse and worse as it further evolves. Typhlosion's pretty good in the game itself, but I'm going to give it a meh. I'm not a huge fan of the Typhlosion. And then lastly, we have the Totodile, Crocodile, Alligator. This one, hear me out. I'm going to be water biased throughout the whole thing. They're my favorite ones of all the starters, but I feel like this one is at least a great Pokemon. It's got a really cool look. Obviously, there's a huge meme right now in the Pokemon world on Twitch where it looks like his sprite has like this huge thick booty on him, and they call him cheeks and stuff. So anyway, so that alone, he's got some awesome memes to him, so we gotta put him there. 100% people who drink water have died. That you're not wrong. That is for sure. But Crocodile, he's gonna go like great Pokemon. I've also loved all 3 of their kind of the blends there, so I'm putting them there. So anyway, that's Johto, 2nd gen. So now we go to Hoenn, the 3rd gen. So this one I actually didn't play when it was first released. I think first released, this was when I was like in late middle school, early high school, and I had stopped playing Pokemon at the time. I kind of picked it back up in college because I was like, oh, I actually really like those games. I want to play them some more. For the first guy, we have Trico, which is a Grovyle and Sceptile. I don't like this one either. I'm going to put this one in unusable also. Maybe I'm just a hater of grass types. It's very, very, very possible, but I'm just not a fan. Yes, that is true. I am a casual player of the Pokemons because I haven't played all of them 100 times through. That is true. Next we have Torchic, which is the fire starter. Torchic, Blaziken, and obviously you get to make a Blaziken, but those are a different thing. This one is the first time they added the fighting type to fire, so it's pretty cool in that sense that it's pretty unique, and it can be really strong. I'm going to give it a fun to try. Actually, no, I'm going to give it a great, because it's the first of its kind. It's a really cool one. Just kidding. We're going back to fun to try now that I'm thinking about it, now that I see who's coming up next. But anyway, it's right on the tier. I'm going to put him a little bit above Charizard, because I like the firefighting flavor, especially just the aesthetic. The Blaziken is really cool, in my opinion. I just talked myself back into it. So thanks for joining me on that crazy ride of stream of thinking, back and forth through the whole thing. So that's the fire line for Hoenn. Then we have the Mudkip line. Mudkip, Marshtop, Swampert. Swampert's really cool. Water ground. Obviously that makes him terrible against grass type, but he is incredible. I love the typing bonus. I love the aesthetics of him. Really fun. Great Pokemon. All day, every day. You know what I mean? All day. So next we go to what, in my opinion, might be the best starters in Sinnoh. This is probably the generation that I kind of like came back to in Pokemon and started playing again. That is the Turtwig, Chimchar, Piplup trio. So we'll start with Turtwig, who obviously evolves into Torterra, which is a grass ground type, which is also a really cool typing, in my opinion. I love the way this guy looks. Little like turtle looking thing with the plant, and then it grows bigger and he has a freaking like tree on his back. I mean, probably is my favorite grass starter, hands down, the Torterra. So he's gonna go into the Great Pokemon. We have Chimchar, Monferno, and Infernape. Again, love the aesthetic, love the way they're kind of the art is on them. They are also going into Great Pokemon. Just love it. Obviously, it's the duplicate of the Blaziken, but he's way cooler looking, in my opinion. The Fire Ape looking thing, Fire Monkey. So he's going to go there. And then you have Piplup, Piplup, Prinlup, and Empoleon. So this one, again, my bias comes in, but I also love penguins. They're by far my favorite animal. So this one is also an all day. Plus he gets the steel typing, which is just so good and so strong with the water steel typing. So again, slightly biased, I understand, but water type, they're just the best. I can't help it. It's not my decision to make them the best, it's just what they are. Next in line, we have Unova. This is from Black and White. So we have Snivy, which goes to Servine to Superior. So again, this one, pure grass type, not my favorite, but I do actually like the way this line looks. Kind of has a unique, like, almost Asian dragon feel to it. So I really like that. So I'm going to give him a fun to try. Just because I like the look of that evolution line. Then we have the Tepic, Pignite, and Imbor, which, not my favorite. I'm going to put him in the meh. The firefighting, it's like, okay, you've done it 3 times now. It's time to think of something different. Pokemon, and they just kind of were pigeonholing the fire starters into that. So anyway, it's not my favorite. I don't think I ever actually used him in a playthrough, so I'm going to put him in meh. I don't think he's quite unusable, because he does have some cool looks to him. I mean, I really like Pignite. It's really fun, like, sumo wrestler, like, middle school look. Like, I'm strong, but I'm also still not fully developed look. So anyway, that's fun. Then we have the Oshawott, Duat, Samurott. I know some people love this one, but I'm just going to give him a fun to try. This is, again, one of my ones I'm not as familiar with, the starters on. Haven't played Pokemon Black and White as frequently, but that's kind of where I'd put them, is in that category there. So next we go into the Kalos region, which is Pokemon X and Y. These ones are pretty interesting and fun. So we have Chespin, which I know is some people's least favorite by far, into Chestnut, which, okay, so we're just gonna put the starter in. I'm gonna give him a fun to try. I think the grass fighting is fun as a typing. It's something different. Obviously it's really, really bad to flying type. But anyway, they tried something different. It has, I think Chestnut's kind of cool looking. Obviously not my favorite, but I'm gonna put him in the fun to try. Then we have Finnegan, Braxian, and Delphox. although Delphox looks kind of weird, I like the fire and psychic. They really like tried different things in this gen, which I kind of appreciated. So I'm gonna put him in the I'm just gonna put her in the fun to try because I don't love the look of it. I just like the typing of it, so I'm gonna put him in fun to try. We have Froakie, Frogadier, Greninja, which I also know is some people's favorite. Really cool looking with the like cool little scarf thing coming off. It's like supposed to be like kind of look like his tongue. So I'm gonna give him a great Pokemon. Water Dark, which is also a fun combo there. So he falls into the great Pokemon. Then we go to Alola, which Pokemon Sun and Moon, I did not super enjoy the game, so take that with some of a grain of salt. But we have Rowlet, Datrix Decidueye. I believe that's how you say it. So this one is saying Grass Ghost. I don't remember if he was Grass Ghost in the initial playthrough, but he probably is. I really like the way his evolution line ends up. So I'm going to give him a great Pokemon. It's one of the few grass types that I really like. But yeah, I just think aesthetically he's really cool. As the flying type initially goes into the ghost, which is just, it makes it fun. It's cool when they kind of go like again for like newer things. Then we have the Litten line, which ends up in Incineroar, just the Fire Dark. I really love the first two, the Litten to Torcat. Incineroar is a little crazy in terms of how much it changes into the final one. So I'm gonna give him a low fun to try. Not my favorite typing. I think that's the one I tried to play through the very first time because I always use the water in my first playthrough. So I was like, I am gonna mix it up. And again, didn't love these games, so that probably puts a little bit of a damper on him. And the last one is Poplio. And the last one is Primarina, I think it is. Water Fairy type, which is pretty cool. Again, cool that they tried something. I don't really like the way this one looks in any stage, so it's gonna be just a meh for me. I do like the typing, so it'll be like high-end meh, but it's not the one that I would go out of my way to try and do. And now we have Galar region, which is the most recent one, which they don't have all three of them, so that's kind of a bummer. But if I had to rank it, oh, here he is. Oh, there's my Chestnut and Delphox. Sorry, guys. Let's update those real quick. Bloop. And where'd Chestnut go? Bloop. Perfect. Alright, so Galar, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Not technically the newest, but basically the newest. Grookey. I actually really like Grookey into Thwackey into Rillaboom. Really cool. Gorilla Man. Looking Mon. So Thwackey is going to be in my great Pokemon. I think he's my favorite starter after I've played it a few times. So I'm going to put him there. Then we have Scorbunny into Raboot into Cinderace. Also a really fun evolution line. He's very strong because he's so dang fast in the game. So he's going to be a great Pokemon also. Then we have Sobble. Sobble itself, really cute Pokemon, really fun. But then it evolves, and it evolves again, and I feel like it's pretty bad. So for my first ever water type into the unusable. So that's my list. Obviously I'm a little bit biased. I have lots of water types really high. I technically don't have a single fire type unusable, which kind of surprised myself as I was kind of working through the progress. But anyway, this is my personal list of, again, how the Pokemon look, how they actually function in the game. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you disagree, I'd love to hear it. And let me know who your favorite all-day Pokemon are. Alright, talk to you later. Adios.